AC generator. First of all, as far as the analogy is concerned, it's going to be analogous to electric cell because it is also useful for producing the energy. AC generator means it will convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. It works basically on the principle that when a coil is rotated in a magnetic field, it will produce the current. You see, when a coil is there in the magnetic field, the flux would be given by this relation, be a cos theta, and theta could be written as omega t. Why omega t? Because if the coil is rotated with the angular velocity omega could be written as theta upon t. If you differentiate this, you'll find d phi dt. This is going to be equal to Ba omega sine omega t. And if you want to find the value of E, that is induced EMF, as given by Faraday's second law, you'll get the relation this NAB omega sine omega t. This is the maximum value E naught. E equal to E naught sine omega t because it's all constant for the given coil and constant angular velocity. So, on this basis, when the coil is rotated in magnetic field, the EMF that is induced is given by this relation. It is sinusoidal in nature. This way, the current will also be given according to same relation. Both will be sinusoidal, or you might say oscillatory in nature. E naught, I naught, the peak values. E naught is here equal to NAB omega, NAB omega. E naught is proportional to omega. It's one important result. The induced EMF is proportional to the angular velocity. The diagram for generator has been shown over here, rectangular coil within two poles of a magnet producing magnetic field. The coil is rotated and the coil's ends are related with the slip rings which through carbon brushes connect the outer circuit. You see, the function of the generator is always to provide the current in some external machinery instrument, must be having resistance. Resistance is actually the load of the generator, whereas motor we'll study just now, there the load is always the wheel, and for the generator the load is always some resistance. In this relation, if this slip rings, if it is split in two parts, means two half split rings, by using two half split rings this way, carbon brush over here, you can convert the same generator into DC generator. And in DC generator, the current will flow this way. It's not going to be negative. Whereas in AC generator, the current becomes positive and negative both. Now, what is electric motor? Electric motor is very simply we can define it is DC generator working in reverse direction. Electric motor will convert electric energy into the mechanical energy. You see, it works on the principle that when the coil rotates in the magnetic field, EMF will be produced. So, what we do first of all, we try to rotate the coil with any support, might be mechanical, by hand, might be with the help of some machinery, but initially we just start rotating the coil, and soon as the coil starts rotating, one EMF is induced that is opposite to the main EMF, that we known as back EMF. So, if the EMF applied is capital E and back EMF produced here is small e, the current is going to be this one. And you know, when initially you will just switch on the motor, the coil will initially start moving very slow. You might say E is equal to 0. In that case, the maximum current is going to be E upon R. It is going to be, of course, very high, and the motor is likely to be fused. So what we do initially is just starter resistance automatically comes in the circuit. There is always the provision for starter resistance with every motor. After switching off, you see, when we'll switch off, this is going to be 0 immediately. Then in that case, the current immediately after switching off the circuit is going to be this E upon R. When you increase the load on the motor, when I say load on the motor, it simply means wheels, because motor is always used to operate some wheels. It might be that in the voice recorder, it might be anywhere. Motor always means some wheel to be operated. So when the load on the motor is increased, the angular velocity will decrease, and E proportional to omega. Omega decreases, small e will decrease, and when this decreases, current will be more. So you can say that whenever we increase the load on the motor, it will start consuming more current from the source. Power output will be given by E into I. This is the relation for power output. For maximum power output, the condition we find E equal to E by 2. So maximum power output is going to be E by 2 in place of I. You see, you are going to have this E by 2R. This becomes a relation E square upon 4R, the maximum power possible from the motor, E square upon 4R. The condition for this is E equal to E by 2, and the current corresponding to maximum power is going to be E upon 2R, simply because you'll put here E by 2, E minus E by 2, that is again E by 2R.